Well, good afternoon, my YouTube friends. It's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and I hope there's enough daylight just to catch some of these orchids in the grow room. That's that white one. This is one that I had from 2015, and it didn't do anything for 3 years. And this year it decided to give me some nice blooms, and I've already lost one bloom, but it's continuing to bloom. And that one just hangs up there, at the back there. And so what have I been doing? You've been wondering where I've been. And I've been working very hard because a lot of colleagues have been down with this bug that I caught. And then today and tomorrow is a holiday for me, so I thought, well, I'll come in here today and just water and feed everything. I've got the readings downstairs, and I think, if I remember, the TDS was quite high. I was quite shocked because what I'd done, I'd put some calcium, and I'd also put some seaweed extract. Now the pH was fine, but it was the TDS. Anyway, I managed to get the TDS down to about 365, I think, something like that. But I did continually add more water, and I think they're going to be all right. So let's, if I stand back here now, that little addition to this wall, and that's the plica tile up there now. This is the Laelia rubenscens. Now this one here, I did actually lose a pseudobulb there, and I couldn't understand why I'd lost that, but then I suddenly remembered that I'd actually sprayed it and the water had run down and rotted that pseudobulb. So I detached that straight away and put some dragon's blood on. So now I'm very, very careful when I water that one. These are just a few that I've brought over from the other wall, and that's the Dendrobium williamsii, the one with the little furry canes. This is one of the Dendrobium phalaenopsis ones that I've decided just to mount on here. Some of them have been struggling with dehydration. Now that's a sunray cocktail, so that's the only one I've mounted here, just on this little tiny mount. So I'll just see how we go on with that one. This is the pseudo-lamellatum, and although we've lost virtually that's the last bloom on that one, we've still got a cluster here, and I think that might be the end on this particular one. We've still got more flowers on the other one, which I call Avatar, of course. That's my little ladder Jessie, and that's its last chance now. This is Dendrobium pendulum, one of the little offshoots that I've put in here, and if we can just lift this off here. Now these have all been watered and fed today, and this is Phalaenopsis amboyensis, and that is a little tiny spike there, and that just hangs on there now. Let's have a look at the temperature. It's 20°C and it's 72% humidity. That's the Epicattleya Alatilio Santa Maria, and that's had a good watering and a good feed today. And also as the Bulbophyllum lobii. I did have a little bit of rot in this corner last week, so again that was chopped off straight away, and some dragon's blood put on the wound, and that stopped it straight away. And this is the Phragmipedium andeum fire. that's finished flowering now, and I'll just wait for that flower inflorescence to die back. This is the, I think we've been up on this shelf, this is the Dendrobium King Zip Red Splash, doing very well. The one behind it is Comic King, the Dendrobium. This is Miltassia Royal Robe. This is Angraecum sesquipedale, and that's, as you can see there, it's having a nice drink. And this one here has now started to give me secondary roots, so I'm quite pleased about that one. If I move over to this one now, just gently lift this down. This is one of the, I think this is Dendrobium Allen. Dendrobium Kingianum Allen. Now, I don't know whether you can see that. There. Can you see that there? Is that a keiki, or is that a flower inflorescence coming? And where else did I find one? I found two like that, and I thought, ooh, I've not seen them before. Let's see if I can swing it round this way and find the other one. Because it's not here when I want to show it you. Oh, there. Can you see that one? There's a little dried sheath, and there's one just coming out of there. Now these, I've had struggle with scale on these, but this one now, well, all my plants seem to be absolutely fine, and that's been watered and fed today. Now I don't know whether the Kingianums get a winter rest, but I suppose I'll have to go and have a look at that. The big delicatum, Dendrobium delicatum, that's in the garage. We have got grow lights in the garage, but that's getting that's staying in the garage now for 2 months because that does need a winter rest. And if I can just lift this one out here, I have to be careful, but this is my Procatavolia, and again that's been fed today, and we've got some nice growth on this one, nice green roots. And we'll look round here, they're all hydrated now, those roots, and it just fits nicely in this pot here. There we go, just pull it round so they don't get, that's in the corner there, that's the Thunia bensonii. Now at some point that's supposed to all die back, but at the moment it isn't, so I've just given that a light water and a feed. This is one of the big cattleyas. I think this is the same one that's mounted, LC Permensal Balm, something like that, Palm, that's right, and that's doing wonderfully well. This little one here, which is Dendrobium tetragonum. Now I have to keep my eye on these because they do get dehydrated quite quickly, but you've got to be careful because you can't overwater them, but also you can't let them go dry. So I'm keeping my eye on that one. This is that Phalaenopsis. I don't know whether the light will allow me to show you that green root that's just coming through there, and so that's in this basket. This one here, this is a let me have a look for you, Cattleya. This is Malworth Glade, Malworth Orchid Glade. Yes, this is the awarded one, and that's got nice green roots on as well. So there's a few I've not watered today. I've not watered that one. I don't think that'll come to any harm. That's the Milliform. The frags need watering. This is the M.E.s Orchids, and that needs watering, but that'll have to wait till tomorrow now. and these are some of the Phalaenopsis, and you might see that there's more actually in pots now than there are in my glass vases, and I'll explain that as we go round. And there's my lovely Phalaenopsis Chia E. Yunlin. That's doing nicely. And there's Little Zorro up there in that corner. The Dendrobium Phalaenopsis, this is, what's this one called? Blue Happiness, that's still blooming. And also is Thailand Black. But the other one isn't, I've cut the stem off, let me just show you. And, be careful how I lift this out. I cut the stem off there, the flowering stem, and I put it on this table here. And what I've done, I'm just careful because this was really, can you see that pseudobulb there and that leaf that's dying back? So what I decided to do with this, there's no holes in this, and I decided just to place this in a little bit of waterculture. And well, for a few days, just to get rid of that wrinkling there, and see whether or not it sends out any new roots. So that's that one. And if I put that down there, that little tiny one, if you remember that little tiny one, that's not going to survive. The only Oncidium species I've got, Oncidium powii, there, that new leaf, I'm not sure. Oh dear, sorry about that, let's just take it back. Must have just touched the wrong thing, I do apologise about that. That's the Aspasia over there in that corner. This is again one of those little dendrobiums. This is Blue Happiness, and I've put them in these little containers so that I can keep my eye on them and they're more hydrated. And this is one of the Cattleya violacea by intermediate for rosea. And although it's a little bit worse for wear, it is actually well on the road to recovery, that one. There again, you see, these are I think this one is Crumamentum. That one again is one of the Dendrobium Phalaenopsis. Those are the only ones I've got left from my Dendrobium Friedrichianum. And the other one, the mother plant, unfortunately today, that's no longer. And these are all going fine under here, as you can see. Everything's looking well. That's still in waterculture. That's little Axel, looking absolutely wonderful. And the mother plant to this one, that's actually got flowers. And we go up on here, and this is the big Gracillicoli. And this has been on the back shelf. Now I've repotted this into this nice big deep pot here, and I want just to see how this will fare here, because it's been lovely and sunny today, although we've had absolutely atrocious weather. You've never seen wind and rain like it, and that's not been fed or watered. This is this top shelf, and there's another Kinganum on the windowsill. Now this one hasn't been watered today. That's the other part of Falco rostrum, but this part here, I've done this one. And this one is Hilda Paxson, and that's been fed and watered today. I've not fed or watered the lamelatum there, and I've just spotted, let me just have a look, I've just spotted in this light now, can you see there, just on that flattened pseudobulb. Try and keep us, I wonder if I can put it on there. Oh, that's handy, isn't it? Now let's see if I can show you. There. Can you see there? So, now that's going to flower for me. And now this hasn't been watered today. Lovely little thing, it's only a tiny thing. And I might just have to put that in some water afterwards because it does look dry, but it's got good roots there, look at them. And of course that's the cousin, well I call it the cousin of pseudo-lamelatum. And whereas these are pink and green with a lilac stripe, I think these are white. So I'm going to leave that on there, and that'll remind me that it needs to be watered. So if I gently just bring you around this way, and of course this is the Phalaenopsis tetraspis. That's been watered today and fed. Look outside, it's just starting to rain again. The only one that's been watered and fed today is that species one there on that board, that's Hulcoglossum subdiflorum. These others haven't been fed or watered today. And if I manage to stretch over here, now that big Cattleya, I'm going to do a separate video. That big Cattleya there is Pastoral Innocence in the corner, and this one is Laelia purpurata, and I don't know that you can see that. I'm trying to move a leaf or something. There, it's got a big sheath in there, and I don't know whether there's anything in that sheath. I've no idea. And if I can squeeze over, oh dear, I have to be careful to apologise about this. Oh dear, always the way. Can you see that? Can you see that developing there, down there? And that's Pamela Hetherington. And if that develops into flowers, that'll be my first Cattleya I've ever flowered. Because if you remember rightly, I've suffered so much with scale, but I haven't got scale anymore. Thank goodness for that. Oh, I tell you, if you get scale, you can't. Well, it took me 12 months to get rid of it, but never mind. Now this one here, this is that Phragmipedium rictori that I showed you last week, and you see how it's grown up to there, and my own shadow now. That'll have to be watered tomorrow. I don't think it'll come to any harm because they were watered last week and we haven't had brilliant weather. Look at that new leaf coming there. I'm hoping it's might be a flowering fluorescence, I've no idea. And let's go down on this shelf here and see what we've got down here. This is the Phaeus Tankenvillia. This is that terrestrial orchid, and look at that. That's doing wonderful. Chuffed to bits about that one. That's my Phylogeny down there, and that's in an open basket, and that likes that. This is Bifrenara sweet lime. That does nothing. That'll be for the hedge, as Roger says sometimes. And this, of course, is the big Phylogeny Burfordiense. And that's as healthy. Look at that. Although I did lose one leaf recently, which I was really surprised about, because this hasn't dropped any leaves at all. But look at the size of it, how it stands. And if we go over here, that Phalaenopsis there is still in water culture, and that one there. But I'm going to have to check these tomorrow and during the weekend, because what's happened is when I've come to, because I had this 6 weeks where I wasn't very well at all, And when I come to check on these Phalaenopsis on the roots, they were just completely mush. And one of them, I think it might be this one, it could be that one, and this is the I think this was the keiki, and it's only left with 2 or 3 roots, I think. But look, since I've put it back into bark, look how it's taken off. That one's got an old leaf that's just dying back. Now this is one of the 3 sisters. That also is in bark now, and is doing quite well. Actually, that might be the keiki, but whichever it is, this one's doing fine. That's still in the water culture. And if I get up here, excuse the jogging, this is the other, as I call the 3 sisters. There we go. And that's back in bark, because that also had mushy roots. Now the only one that didn't have mushy roots, and I'll bring it down here, because this is on the top shelf, and I'll just bring it down here. Be careful I don't knock everything. And that's this one. And if we turn around here, we've got this new leaf there, and this has got a humongous root system. But I thought, well, they've not flowered, and I was watching one of Rick's videos about feeding them and everything else like that. So this one, it's in this big deep, what I call Phragmopedium pot, and I bring it back up here. So it's a nice big deep pot there, and you see, to accommodate all those roots. So I'm hoping now, all 3 of them, I've treated them all the same. I suppose I could have left one in water culture, but I was a little bit too worried about that. These are the Phragmopediums on this top shelf, and this is Olaf Gruss, and that was the one, if you remember that leaf. I got water in that leaf, didn't I? But that's doing fine. There's, we've got that big one there. Got this big one here. This is Phragmopedium longiflorum. And there we go. And here we go here now. This is the Sedera japonica. I still call it Sedera japonica. I know it's called Phalaenopsis japonica now, but I still call it Sedera. That's been fed and watered. This is the Pathiopedilum ballatum Birothgelianum, and that's doing wonderful well, because that's one, if you remember, was at death's door, and I've managed to pull that one back. This one's one of the seedling ones from Burnham's Nurseries, and that's doing fine. That's Calopa kingii here, and if we look down there, Calopa kingii's got a new leaf coming up there in the middle. And this is the, I always forget this one, let me have a look for you. And this is Pathrothgelianum giant wings by Titanic, and that's doing fine as well. And the when it's been this brilliant sunshine today, all these shelves here catch the sunlight, and this bedroom has been lovely. Bright, brilliant sunshine comes straight in, hitting all the shelves. There's that bottom shelf down there. We've still got another Phalaenopsis there in water culture. And if I just take you around here now, I've just manoeuvred the little table here. So this the humidifier, not dehumidifier, the humidifier I can put on now, and it with that fan just there, the fan hits it and sends it round. And this is the light that, this is the, Keith just removed this for me, this is the full spectrum light, and which gives all the colours, and but it's very difficult to film when that's on. And if I go around here now, I'll switch this other one on, because this one here goes on and this middle one goes on also. There we go. And that's how it changes the colour in the grow room. There we go. So thank you for joining me on this wet and windy day. Take care. Speak soon. Bye bye now.